Welcome, everyone, to the Infopreneur Agency's Industry Leader Workshop. And I'm your host, Omar Briones, along with Mike Hayes. Mike, say hello so people see you.
Hi, buddy.
So Mike is one of our mainstream media mentors. He has been in the media industry for the last 30 years, 10 years as a documentary director for NBC, and CNN News, and 20 years in the infomercial industry. He's interviewed thousands of people, including the most well-known people you know. I could list them all. And he's considered the network king in the media industry because of all the solid relationships he has with top influencers in the industry. And today, he is the founder and president of the New Economy Chamber of Commerce, and he's going to share with you how he went from a struggling coach, and he was a coach for some time, struggling, trying to make some money, and he was literally losing money. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that, and he's going to share how he went from that to just almost overnight, like within a year, making $1 million or more every single year consecutively for 15 years consecutively. All right, so that's $15 million as a coach. All right, and he did that with a little secret that he's going to share today, and he's going to also share with you what he recommends to do today in today's new economy with all the new innovations out there and the tools and resources available to you to really take your coaching business to the next level and beyond even what was possible back then. So with that said, I think I gave a good introduction, hopefully. There's a lot of things I could say about Mike, but here he is, Mike Hayes. Thank you again for being here. Go ahead and, by the way, one more thing, you guys, take lots of notes because this is going to be value-packed. A lot of great content is going to be shared. Mike really tends to share, like, over-deliver on his content. So just be prepared, all right? Okay, so let's go ahead.
It's a recording, folks. It's new media. So, okay, thanks, Omar. Now, I have been bursting to be able to really share this for a long time because I see so many people struggling, and I get that. I know how it feels. I know how painful it can be. But I also discovered something. Well, really, I learned it at NBC. But I learned when I combined this with coaching, it became just explosive. And it's so simple. That's what drives me crazy. That's why I've been bursting to tell people. It's not some magic technology or some big app or, something that nobody, but a techno geek can do. It is so brain dead, super simple. And yet, you guys are going to see, I don't care what your situation is. I started in a garage, and I'm going to explain why this is so powerful and so important. Now, where it came to me was, again, so many things have come to me from USA Today. Why, I don't know. But anyway, I was reading an article in USA Today about these guys who were starting this company out of their garage, and it was called Apple Computers and all this stuff. And I thought, wow, that really kind of hit the spark in my brain, and that's where I kind of caught the bug. Now, I'm going to get off camera here for a very important reason. This is actually me getting off camera, not being on camera, but being off camera, is part of the demonstration of the simplicity of this really brain dead simple solution that I'm bringing to the table. And I really want to, kind of show and tell it and help you guys to really understand it. So I'm gonna, let's see, I can shut off my video. Oh, see, that's the problem, Omar. I can't get to my mouse to shut off the video because I'm in full screen. So
okay, I'll do that for you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, bud. Thank you. See, that's what teams are for. You can't do everything by yourself, right? There we go. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so now let me kind of go through it. Now, what I want to do, is it going now? Now my screen won't move forward. Come on, screen, move forward. Okay, Omar, can you, let's see. Why won't it go forward? Let me try this. See, it was working before, but now it won't let me move off this slide. I wonder if I was host. Do you want to make me host?
Okay, I'll do that.
And that won't affect the recording, right? We'll still be recording. Okay.
Right now?
Try it now. And
not just do the quit command Q.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. And maybe it'll let me out. I might have to unplug my external monitor. So let me try and do that. Get some of this.
I appreciate you guys, your patience. Sometimes these things happen.
It'll be worth it, guys. I promise. So just trust me on that.
I'll pause the recording for now.
Okay, guys, what I'm going to do is the ideas that you're going to get from me today, these are the ideas that absolutely lifted me out of the rank of failure. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that, a business is something that makes money, okay? So I had the goings of a startup business, but I had such an overhead and, I couldn't make it profitable. I wasn't smart enough or experienced enough or something. But anyway, I wasn't making any money at it. So, I was an entrepreneur at heart because I'd already interviewed so many successful entrepreneurs. So I knew that, it takes a struggle. It's not easy being an entrepreneur. So I had that behind me. I had that experience, but I wasn't making money. I'd been with NBC in New York. And so I'm going to go through what some of the core elements of this success were. And I got to shrink this up a little bit here. There, like that. Okay. So now what happened was the reason I'm going to help transition you guys into the new economy, and the reason that I think I can so well, is that after I was successful, I spent, because I do need to do a little prologue here for you, okay? I'm going to get to everything, I promise. I just want to put it in context. I think you'll find that very, very important, actually. So I spent about, 18, 19 years, so we'll say 20 years in the TV infomercial industry. And there I learned, and this is an important part of what I'm going to teach you guys, the classic core actions and activities. It's really important that I focus on those things because that's what keeps you from chasing rabbits down rabbit holes, okay? There's all the fluff and shiny objects out there, but if you stick to the 3 core classic actions, that'll keep you close to home base and working in the smarter way and probably being a lot more successful, okay? Now, here's one of the big reveals right here. This is what I'm going to share you, and I'm going to expand upon this, but here it is. Now, one of the core actions was this and how I got here. I'm going to explain this. Why I wanted to use audio today and audio interviews, because they engage what I learned at NBC in New York. And partly I use these things in 2 of the Peabody Award-winning documentaries I produced. I used theater of the mind with audio. Audio is actually far more powerful than most visuals, and I can prove that point over and over again and have over the years. So that's one of the keys, is understanding theater of the mind. That's very, very important, because that's going to be one of the keys. It's going to help you lift you up from whatever situation you are in currently, and I'm going to explain how to utilize that. So one of the keys is of the 3 actions, and then we're going to talk about them, what they are. You have to have your story, okay? So then you have first your story. Let me go back to that. And here it is, the branding story about you and what you offer to help people get what they want, okay? So now we have your story, and use theater of the mind in it, in your story, and then now we're ready to distribute it. Okay, so the second classic core action is your story needs to be in the eyes and ears of the audience that you want, your ideal for who you can help. The third classic core action is to select today what we call a funnel. It's just a way to make it easy for people to find you, send you money so that they can buy from you easily. Now, why now? Why is it so important that I teach this to you right now? Okay, That's what I'm going to talk about right now, because we are now in the new economy. I want you to understand, this is part of the prologue, okay? So now I'm in the prologue section of this to tell you how did we get here and where can we go from here. So we're going to start here. Okay, so now doing business in the new economy, the best way I can describe it is that it feels like doing business in a new country. Because you're still you're still doing business, but you have to do it in a slightly different way. You know, if you move to a new country or forced to move to a new country, you'd have to learn the norms and mores and what to say, what not to say. And, you know, there's different ways of doing things, and it's just learning some new things. And wouldn't it be easier if you moved to a new country and you found the local tourist bureau and met the executive director who could guide you of the best resources to use in this new country? So that's kind of what hiring a local tour guide, you know, that's the equivalent, and what a big difference that could make to you. So, you know, I try to do points of threes, okay, because that's kind of how the brain works. Now, let's understand, none of us ask for this new economy, okay? We didn't ask to be here. It just happened to us. But like anything else in life, anything that happens to us, it's how we react to it. We have to reorient ourselves to doing business in it, or if we don't, we risk setbacks or even obsolescence. Just ask Toys R Us, and that's just a big example, but it doesn't matter how big or established you are, everybody has to make the transition. Like I say, you're the same, but you need to adapt to the new surroundings. Now, what happened is, and I'm not talking about e-commerce. Somebody, you know, said to me, "Are you talking about e-commerce? Like, that's not new." You know, e-commerce is relatively new, but that's not the newness I'm talking about. What happened is there's been a big shift because of the resource, that's a key word, resource sharing platforms, okay? One of the new words to use in this new land that we're in is resource. You need to start to think of yourself not a resume or a job, you know, applicant, but as a resource, because there are now these new platforms that create instant collaborations. This is what created the tipping point in e-commerce that actually created this new economy. And I have a documentary that anybody who stays all the way to the end and requests that I send it to them, I'm more than happy to send it. 5 years of work about research about, you know, from Forbes, Fortune, Wall Street Journal, Entrepreneur Magazine, all the other top sources, including the Federal Reserve Bank, and what they are all saying about why this new economy is here and why it is here to stay. Now, what do I mean by instant collaboration? So let's talk a little bit about that. This is such a good way to kind of get this new economy. So instant collaborations are this. If you need a ride somewhere, you can arrange an instant collaboration with the seller who has, you know, the resource of a car and a willingness to drive you somewhere. You know, and this is Uber or Lyft, right? Number two, if you need overnight accommodation in the new economy, you can create an instant collaboration. That's the way to think of it, resources and collaborations, with a seller who has a room to rent to you. And three, it's changed everything, because imagine that you were a venture capitalist and you saw these huge companies just come right out of, you know, nowhere to surpass companies like Hilton and own no property. Wouldn't that get your attention? Of course it would. Well, it's gotten not only the attention of venture capitalists, it's changed everything. It has changed. LinkedIn went, wow, we better adjust. LinkedIn has changed. Facebook has changed. Meetup has changed. It's changed email marketing, and it's rapidly changing even local chamber of commerce networking, you know, and the way that we do local networking right in our community. So this is really a major, major change. So the way to make new money in this new economy is not by getting caught up in the differences. Don't focus on the changes. Focus on the classic proven strategies that have, you know, created the business that we were used to. Like I say, we're still the same, but there are big new opportunities, and one of them is peer-to-peer mastermind networking in digital groups. And these are things that can help to skyrocket your income to 6 and even 7 figures and more. So this is what I'm going to talk about a little bit about, one of the opportunities and how you can use theater of the mind and digital interview audiobooks is, this is how I went from being a struggling life coach, making 0 in profit to over $1 million a year. And I used a measly, as Omar describes, 60-minute audiobook to discover the ultimate secret toolkit to stand out and skyrocket your income just like I did. That's what I want you to walk away, even from this webinar with, is the ability to know how to do that. So let me go to kind of this next slide here, have a little fun with this. So let's continue the thinking. Imagine that you're doing business in a new economy, and it's like doing business in a new country. So for fun, we'll call this new country Newlandia. Everything is new in the new economy. New is the new. So today, there are so many new free resources in the new economy that anyone with a simple idea can now turn that into a big idea and into the key to their future, their fortune, their income. So by the end of this course today, I want you to know how to get a creative audio book cover started at, as little as $5. If you're that, on tight of a startup budget, or you can get more creative. Somebody like Omar can create a beautiful audio book at a really top quality professional level. So but we have so many options today. So that's
Mike,
kind of
Before you move on, I want to make sure everyone gets this. Is that the secret, the little tool that really skyrocketed your business and made you millions, is that 60-minute audiobook that you made. And I'm sure it didn't take that much to produce. Well, maybe it did back then, but now it's not that much to produce. And I just want to make sure everyone gets that is the key, is just a simple little audiobook is the thing that really transformed your business, right?
It was theater of the mind in the audiobook. That it was what was in the audiobook that transformed the business.
Right on. And that's what you're going to be continuing to
yeah, but I've got to put it into perspective, because I don't want her to think that was then, and I recognize this is now. We're in a whole new ball game now. So how does it affect us all now? So that's what I want to get to. So again, I'm still in the prologue. As I said, I'm setting the stage here to get to it.
Right. Just wanted to make sure everyone's following. So
yeah, good.
You guys got that. All right.
Absolutely. I've got a couple more slides in the prologue, and then I'm getting right to it. So now. So I also want to be crystal clear that, I am a media guy. We have New Money Media and New Money Radio. These are two different things. I want to be clear. There's a major distinction between the two. So I want to make sure that nobody gets confused, and I'm trying to get through this because I really want to make sure this is a great investment of your time all the way. So I want to make sure that if you have any questions about the difference, one is on broadcast radio and the other are interviews run on LinkedIn and Facebook and online, etc. So then, and finally, this is one of the things that I'm also very excited about. Not only do we have the ways and means to help you to become successful, but this is the best time to succeed with entrepreneurialism ever. Anybody can become a published author to monetize your expertise. You can now start as simple as opening a free Zoom account. You can go on Fiverr to buy, a couple of graphical book covers that I'll recommend why you should get maybe 2 of them. Use every piece of content that you create as an audio book. So that'll turn you instantly into a published author, more credibility. And then throughout our program each month, we'll be creating audiobook chapters, audiobook reports, guidebooks, playbooks, ebooks, workbooks, even cookbooks and more. But remember, a graphical book cover purchase can become the best investment of your life as long as you know how to use it for free and low-cost resources and technologies that are available. So this is now, ta-da, the end of the prologue. So now we'll go to number 1 of the core strengths that you really need to focus on, and that is telling your branding story to help people get what they want, okay? So what the key is, if you think about an audio book, okay, and that's my strength. is authority building interview audiobook client getting system for the new economy, so that you can, and we want to use the mastermind groups to help you get your bearings in the new economy. So now let me take you back in time to the beginning, okay? In 1988, I was working out of my garage in Albany, California. I had 3 kids. I had 2 shows canceled in the same week. So as they say, I went from the penthouse to the outhouse in a week, okay? And I had 3 kids, and I was probably 6 months away from being able to get another show on the air, making money with it. So I had to find a way to make money and make money fast because I had bills and kids. So I needed to kind of figure out how I could monetize my experience. And I wanted to be able to do that by becoming a media mentor, to help other people learn how to monetize, their small business. That's what I was doing in 1988. So let me try to move this through this quickly, but I've got notes all over the place. So, there are, like I say, far greater opportunities today than there were then. So when you take your story, the beauty of theater of the mind, and I've got a slide coming up here, so I don't want to go too fast, Omar, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. When you take your story to the masses using the new resources today, and you use these new sharing technologies to make collaborations instantly, this can be a big game changer. We're going to teach you how to do it in a very unique way. Anybody can do it, and probably do it 10 times faster than any competitor that you know of or even could think of. So what I did is I knew about theater of the mind, and here I am in a garage, okay, in Albany. So, California. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to be able to tell my story, but I wanted to be able to tell my story in a way that would not limit people from hiring me because of my current surroundings. I wanted them to hire me for my vision, my ideas, and my experience, and how I could help them, not because of my current situation. So that's what I did. I understood theater of the mind, and I understand how to do interviews that create that kind of theater of the mind. But I also had to distribute it, right? So what I did is I actually created what's called back then a master cassette, because this is back in the days of cassette audio recordings. I created the master cassette. I bought an audio cassette duplicator because I was duplicating these audio cassettes by myself. We didn't have any digital resources like we do today. And then I would mail them out in number 10 envelopes with a little letter, okay? That simple. Well, I needed to get the right people to know about me. So I ran a little tiny ad in USA Today, and I ran it on Friday because I knew it would run Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because they don't publish on the weekend, so it'd give me better exposure. I ran the audio or the classified ad. People saw it, called in, and the voicemail said, leave your name and address. And then I mailed them. I created the audios, one at a time, cranked them out, sent them in the mail, and people got them, listened to them, and I'm going to show how they shared them with the important people in there. They'd listen, they go, wow, this is interesting. But, like checking on LinkedIn back in the day, they'd share it with their spouse or their wife. So before people will hire you, they usually want to ask, for other people's opinions about something. Well, this audio book that I sent them gave them the perfect way to do it. They'd share it, the husband would say, oh yeah, we played it on the way to Grandma's house for dinner on Sunday night. And by the time we got there, my wife said, hire that guy. And they did. So I had a couple of people hire me at about $3,000 each. I had $6,000 in sales. Bam. You see, it's don't overlook that, okay? That becomes a money-making machine. That's what the direct response industry is all about. It's not about being fancy or overthinking things. How can you get to short-term cash flow so the amount of outlay is not as big as the amount of, the amount of money that you take in. You have to be able to make a profit. Well, when you can turn $300 into $6,000 because somebody got an audiobook with theater of the mind that had them thinking, that, man, with this guy's background, he must be in some high rise on the 60th floor someplace. I never told them that. I just talked about, my vision, the big ideas I had, and how I could help them. So all of a sudden, I had money in my hands. Well, now what do? Of course, when you're getting 20 times return on a small investment, of course, you're going to take a percentage and invest that right back into more advertising. So what I did is now, because we're we're up here in part one, we're no longer in the prologue, I've gone now back into the new economy, which is where we are today. So today, I've taken that concept, the new economy, the new resources in this economy today, and how I can use this system to help anybody better tell their story, even if you're not making ends meet, even if you're unable to pay your bills, falling behind on your bills, even if you have kids to feed, if you're working in your garage. That's exactly where I was by telling my story and getting it out there into the eyes and ears of the right people. So the first audiobook, as I say, was about 60 minutes. Like I say, that was then, this is now. Today, new economy, what? Information overload. People have no attention span, right? Less is more, like in theater. So you got people want to get right to the good stuff quickly. You got to be able to cut to the chase. So today, I take that 60-minute story and I break it up into 12 5-minute chapters or client attraction magnets, because people want information fast and they want it on demand. People want to get information the way they want it, when they want it, wherever they want it, and they want it now. So today, it's very, very important to understand, A, you need to make it easier for people to buy from you, and B, you have to know how to make it easier for people to buy from you. And again, this is not just another little fancy trick. For 3,000 years ago, they said the human voice is the Buddha's tool. So, focusing on, you have John Kennedy, Martin Luther King. The human voice is the most powerful marketing tool that has ever existed, probably ever will exist, okay? So that's why I'm saying, don't go chasing, butterflies with a butterfly net, running here and there, chasing everything, but really get down to the core components. Tell a story from one human being to another about how you can help them in their life or in their business or whatever. That's really what it comes down to. And again, then I spent 25 years as total as the network king, working in the TV infomercial industry. And so I recognized when this new economy came along, I had the experience to recognize it and see it and knew exactly what it was. I could recognize it as a new marketplace that was made up of free resource sharing platforms to create instant collaborations between buyers and resources. How did I know that? And how did I see it so quickly? I was in the TV infomercial industry. We'd produce a show. Where did we put it? We put it on cable TV. What was that? A way to share it. Was it cheap? No, it was hugely expensive. We spent $250,000 per show to be able to do that. Now, when you can do it for free, to me, this is like hallelujah time, folks. So, what I want to do is I want to show you the importance, too, of creative thinking. You got to think out of the box, because who would have thought if somebody had said to you, hey, if you produce really cheap videos and we throw them up on a channel, it'll become huge. Who'd have thought, after all the years of great video on TV, that suddenly YouTube would take over the world, or chatting with all the typos and, So you have to throw out all the rules. In the new economy, we are reinventing everything, including publishing and everything else. So now, here's rather than the big reveal, here's the small reveal. The small reveal is that the best investment in marketing that you can make for yourself is to get yourself a book cover right now. Get your vision, focus, where you're going, who you are. Focus on, in a nutshell, just like this. This is not only an audio book cover or a book cover. This is a graphic. This is a storytelling vehicle. This can go on Instagram. This can go on Pinterest as a visual. And then when people click on it, you know, after, if we did a recording together, you create, you know, a little Zoom recording, you know, like the 3 things you need to know about love or something like that, or the 7 top things to know about profit blogging before you start, or the 8 things you need to know about simple search. These are reports. These are audio reports. But when you have a book cover with your audio report, and it's like a book chapter, and it becomes one of 12 chapters in the audio book that you are creating, that's why it's so important to get your book cover today, get your focus. And even if you don't have a book yet, when you have that focus, that is going to be highly motivating. So when you are getting that graphic done, get one more graphic. Here it is. If you get this done, this is my Zoom profile graphic, and this is just a little, graphic indicator here for you. But basically, get something like this done so you can upload this, and you know, it's not the same shape as a book, but you can put your book up too. But then you can upload this to Zoom. So then on a meeting like this, you are suddenly represented not just by your face, where that doesn't really say to people who you are, but by your graphic representation. So there you go. That's the end of part 1. Okay. Now we're going to move on to part 2. So part 2 is of the 3 classic core actions is you need to arrange to distribute your story to the eyes and ears of the audience that you want. Now, for a joke and to make a point, I'm going to say you can go out, you could buy time for this on cable television and spend $250,000. You could do that. It doesn't make sense today. Of course, you'd be, you know, a fool and his money are soon parted. But with all of the free distribution resources, that's what I want to point out. I want to show you that back in the day, that's what you had to do. But today, it's a whole new world. Now we've got whole new ways of doing distribution channels like YouTube. And you know, if you like the idea of done for you, well, you know, we even add the cover. So now when you take an audio book with a cover, it's a video. So now when you, because what does Google rank by? Keywords, right? So when you combine an audio, your theater of the mind, with your book cover, you have a video that can be uploaded to LinkedIn, which I do for my clients, to get local ranking on Google, because Google loves keywords, and we can do this for you. So we upload interviews with book covers directly to YouTube for you. And I'll even send anybody who sticks around to the end. Not only will I send you my documentary about the new economy, so you, because this documentary from Forbes, Fortune, all the top research makes an irrefutable argument. No, and there are no online arguments that the new economy is not here. Okay, so I just don't want you to think this is all about me. This is just, I didn't discover it, I didn't create it. I just, you know, saw it and I report on it. So I do interviews that will help get people content that you need for your new LinkedIn profile. I'm going to get in that in a minute. So you can start to promote yourself and become a recognized authority. These are some of the key points that I'll cover in the YouTube optimization guidebook that I will send to you if you stay till the end of the webinar today. But when you see that everything we still have ahead of us, okay, you're going to see that nobody else available today has the background, has the experience, has the capability, or the willingness to offer and make the media marketing resource that we offer available to you to help you to get new clients in this new economy. Now, one of the things we're also going to do is to help you to learn and understand what I call our 12 by 12 learn how to grow your company, or a company that earns $1 million or more every 12 months. I'm going to explain that more, what that's all about, and how you can actually access our mastermind menu of strategy options. Every one of the strategies that we teach comes from one of the top pros. Could be Eben Pagan, Frank Kern, Brendan Bouchard, Greg S. Reed, Tony Robbins, Jay Abraham, Sharon Lechter, Alex Mondosian, Sunil Bhaskaran, Bob Proctor, and other gurus to be named. Every one of these, we're going to spend a month masterminding 12 different strategies, week by week, with a summary week at the end, so that everybody understands what we can learn one by one from the strategies of each of these world-class experts. Because what is the number one thing that all of these people teach that you should put into your audiobook? And that is this. They teach that today, every one of us and every one of them must give away your absolute best stuff up front and for free. Everything, all of the details, everything, just like we're going to do here, okay? So when I saw that, I thought, great, I will accept that offer. I will take your best stuff. We're going to bring it into our roundtable. We're going to share it with our roundtable members. We're going to look it over, and we're going to do peer-to-peer networking and coaching and reviewing of all of the top strategies in the new economy, because there's no one right strategy for any one employee, but 12 different cash flow streams can create a Nile of revenue, okay, a Nile river of revenue. So like I say, we want to help you to gain access, 12 masterminds, each one. And like Frank Kern's free content is valued at not just $1,000, but it's actually at $4,000. But, you know, each one teaches how to make $100,000 annually. And our mastermind peer-to-peer networking allows you to fully absorb it. And this is for mistake avoidance. We don't want you to go out and hire anybody or employ any guru if you don't need to. You might be able to employ their strategies rather than them. They're giving them away. We're going to understand them. If you want to hire them, great. We're going to encourage you to hire them if it's good for you. If you're not, that's fine too. So, you know, what we want to do is we want to help you to understand how to work with their strategies, whether you choose to work with them or not. But you've got to have the best distribution channels for your book. If you have theater of the mind nobody knows about, I don't care if you have a brilliant theater of the mind book and nobody knows about it, it's not going to do you any good, right? Conversely, if you have, you know, the right book but the wrong distribution, or the right distribution, the wrong book, they've got to go together hand in hand. So it takes two to tango. And, you know, the other thing I'm going to teach you is I'm going to teach you your number one competitive advantage that, you know, no matter if you're brand new or how established you are, I'm going to teach you that you've got to know this, and that is the new economy, stupid. I don't know if you guys remember that, you know, that the new economy, or the economy, stupid, was part of the recent presidential elections, and it's been around for a long time. But it really does come down to the new economy. It's made such a big impact. I have the documentary proof I will send you. But to me, my attitude is right here. I don't want people sleeping at the switch. You know, you snooze, you lose. I don't want them to be left behind. I don't want them suffering, or their family suffering from a lack of income. So basically, my attitude is no entrepreneur left behind, not with what we can offer them. That, my friends, is the end of part 2. So we're making great progress. There's only 3 core classic parts, and we've gotten through the first 2. So now, part 3, you need to select a time and cost-effective funnel, a pathway to you and your product so people can buy from you. And this has always been true. So people have to know who you are and how to work with you, or how to exchange funds for your services, or, you know, but now today it's called a funnel. But it's also called sharing platforms instead of funnels. So that's an update. But what we want to do is we want to teach you to look at our mastermind group as like your board of directors. So what would your life be like if you had a board of directors, period, okay? But imagine if you had world-class experts on your board of directors. Well, when I started, I was 22 years old when I started working for NBC in New York, and I was part of their mentorship program, which meant and this was actually more difficult to get into than Harvard, statistically, because it was really a jewel, and you had 18 months you had the run of the place to meet people, network, and find a mentor, somebody that would help you, and that's what they taught you to look for, take you under their wings and help you kind of become a permanent employee. Well, likewise, everybody who's smart is looking for the best mentors and understands the mentor-protege relationship. Savvy entrepreneurs appear on TV shows like Shark Tank or The Profit, not just to get the money, but whoops, made that disappear. But to get the mentoring. You know, imagine if you won Shark Tank and you had, you know, every shark wanted to help you and work with you. That would probably be worth a heck of a lot more than just getting some money if you didn't know what to do with it. Okay, so teach a man to fish. So now, one thing I want to tell you about the power of our unique mastermind strategy is because it may be something that you really need to do to either start or expand your coaching business, because let's say you lack confidence, or let's say you're an introvert. Well, if you have a peer-to-peer mastermind networking was started in 1925 by Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich, of course. So what it does, it's about peer-to-peer. It's not just you. So if you feel, oh, I don't want all that spotlight on me, but if you do a mastermind group and it's peer-to-peer mentoring, that everybody is really helping each other. Now, I met Omar in our own peer-to-peer networking group, the Global Business Mastermind. So, you know, this is where we met, we connected there, and we have become not only friends in commerce, but just friends, okay? So as far as getting your story done quickly, I can interview the book out of anybody, okay? And people think, well, what do I have that's interesting about my business? I'm a farmer's insurance agent, you know, or a financial planner or something, or a realtor. Well, folks, I specialized in documentaries and human interest stories. So when I interview somebody, I can always find a story in there. People are like books. You just have to know how to dig in there for the story. It might be in their background. It might be in their childhood. It might be in their conflict. It might be in their current circumstances. It might be what they're doing for the community. Believe me, there's a million ways to find the story in anybody, because that's what marketing is. Marketing is simply the truth made fascinating. So if you find people fascinating, you're interested in what they have to say, you can do an interview that makes them sound fascinating, not only to yourself, but to everybody else. And when you have an interview that really awakens theater of the mind, and you throw off the limitations that people want to put on you by your current circumstances, and you can get them to focus on your vision, your big ideas, who you are, your future, your fortune, who you are as a person, what you can bring to the table to help them. That's the power of theater of the mind, and that's what we can capture on the simplest little audio book without the worry about expense or visuals or any of those things. So the new economy, you have access, you know, and like I say, often to these things for free. We kind of have a casual attitude here a little bit. We fix these things as we go along or when we spot them. But like our meetup mentor, Sunil Bhaskaran, does. But people have access to mentors and masterminds, people you can count on. Because if you're in a mastermind group, and I'm going to see Omar next week, and I've been in it, you know, together with him for a long time. I ask him for some advice. He's going to tell me the truth, right? Because we are friends. That's who you want to, you know, use to work your way out of a confusion, to test things. And I have the top 27 templates of headlines. That can be a great way to start an interview. We can get on the phone together, you know, pick a hot topic, you know, that makes sense to you, that can become an attention-grabbing headline, and then how can we drill down and make that part of you or your story through that pre-interview first to discuss the headlines, the questions that I'll ask you to bring out your story. The other thing that can be done with audiobooks is testimonials. This is like doing a documentary. So let's say your first 5-minute interview is about what you do, and the second one is about somebody you helped by doing what you do, okay? So that becomes then a documentary. So will this work with this new system? Well, here's the guarantee that I am able to offer with this new system that we're talking about. Is it comes with this guarantee, because we have 12 chances at the plate to swing for the fences, and that you will earn $100,000 by the end of the next 12 months, or you will have saved an additional $10,000 in tax deductions because of the new 2018 tax bill. Whoops. You know what I did? I have to tell you, because this is one of my coachings, is I actually used a little app inside of my Mac to dictate this audio. I just talked to my computer and typed it out for me. In fact, I'll do a demo for anybody who wants to see it, but it's really cool. But sometimes you do have to do some spell check. But number 3, and this is a great way to create a teleprompter for your audiobook. If you want to do audiobooks, you can use a little, you can dictate your teleprompter and then read your teleprompter as your audiobook. I'm telling you, folks, this is really fun if you understand it. 3, that you will have formed at least one significant collaboration or partnerships, hopefully. Or 4, you will have achieved the status of as featured on NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, and become recognized as an authority in your field. And guess what? That's the end of part 3. So we are making great progress. Now let's talk about the next thing. What will it take to make this happen? To get you involved with us. So our program cost, plus, that's what I'm going to tell you about, is plus the special offer, and why I want to make it just for the Entrepreneur Agency and for all of you guys, okay? So here is, this is the program with the guaranteed results over the next 12 months. It is $1,997, gets you the full 12-month Masterminds of the New Economy Networking. It also gets you 12 audiobook interview sessions with me to help you get clarity on your story, your presentation. Over 12 months, you're going to be using it. In the meantime, we don't have to wait until it's done. Unlike producing a book, 90% of them never even get finished. No, you can begin to have your book cover and your first 5-minute client attraction audiobook client magnet in your Gmail signature by next week. I mean, that's how fast things can happen with this new program. That means you are earning while you are learning, okay? And you are scaling that ladder all the way to the top. The other things that you'll get out of the mastermind group are things like accountability. Are you staying with it? Are you working alone? Are you lonely? Okay, we got solutions for you. Accountability. Do you wish to take your game up to the level of becoming a VIP of the new economy? And that means, not only new money media interviews, but our new money radio interviews as well. So I call this, with access to information from anywhere in the world on demand 24/7, 365. I call this no excuses media marketing mentoring, because it's done for you to the extent possible. I can't do both sides of the interview. So we do about everything else though. So I want to work with you. And here's the regular cost of this program. But again, we got some special discounts because of Omar. So this is the way to get interviewed, plus meet the millionaire makers, and like having your own mastermind board of directors. So ordinarily, it's $1,997, and this is for our all-in program, 12 by 12 mentoring, and a way to save $400. But I want you, if you're, because I deal with entrepreneurs for years. So there's two kind of, there's normal, there's skeptical, and then there are cynical. Cynical you can't help, okay? But skeptical entrepreneurs you can. So I say this is our deal. If you're just, have a healthy skepticism, fine, no problem. We have a way to help you to get started with no upfront cost. All you have to do is register for, we can break this up into payments for our 12 payment programs. I'll interview you, post it, and on YouTube for you. Listen to it, share it with your friends, family, get feedback before you spend a penny. And if you decide not to work with us, if you don't absolutely adore that book, you keep it with our best wishes, okay? And then the other option, just forget it, Mike. I just want to try it for a month. I just want to get in, $197 to get in, start to earn while you learn. But wait, there really is more. Sorry, I couldn't resist. But so here's what happens when you're in a mastermind group. you actually form real friendships. Are they real friendships? Yeah, they really are real, honest to goodness pal friendships, okay? So what happened is I met Omar. First I met Sunil in our mastermind group. Then I meet Omar in our mastermind group, and I'm listening to this guy and I go, wow, this guy is totally cool. He's really, really smart, and he does stuff I don't do, and I know stuff he doesn't know, you know? So I thought this could be really, I got to talk to him. So I called him up, talked to him. We started talking. It made sense. We started doing stuff together. Well, then I told he and Sunil that I was being invited by WeWork they wanted to sponsor our ribbon cutting ceremony in Oakland, and that, you know, my local chamber was there. We were going to have a world global webinar at the meetup, and I asked them if they would, you know, really, I needed help, and would they support me in this? Well, not only did they support me, but bless his heart, Omar traveled from LA, not having met me, okay, up here to Northern California just to be there for me and to help me. He helped tremendously. Could never have pulled it off in the way we did without his help. So, you know, that is really becoming not only friends in commerce, but, you know, friends of Omar's are friends of ours. So, for example, I told you that story. So what we want to do is we want to make this, you know, available to you guys so that you can also become our friends. You know, that's what we all really want to do, and learn about collaborations that make, you know, paying for a program like this super easy. So what I've done is I've done a special arrangements right here. I've cut it, slashed it really completely in half. 100% in half. So it's only $997 for the entire 12 months of the mastermind group and the 12 interview recording sessions, or for anyone slightly skeptical, offer no upfront fee, complete with the low-cost month-to-month payment, or for anyone who is maybe having a hard time making commitments, we'll offer a simple $97 per month. Now think about that, $97 a month. What does that really mean, Mike? Well, if you take 4 weeks over a month, 4 different mastermind groups, that's $25 per mastermind. But then I'm going to produce an audiobook with that, okay? So this is like, you know, I should go to work at McDonald's for the price that we are offering this program. But what we are counting on is a future together, okay? So what we want to do is we want to make this, you know, collaborations make paying easy. So now for only $997, there's a little graphic to kind of, you know, get it into your mind. We have different options. Option 1, just $997 paid in full. Option 2, steal our deal. If you don't like it, keep it. And option, number 3, quick change-o. And I think making little changes kind of drive those points home too. But now comes, before I had the small reveal, well, now we come to the big reveal, okay? So we got the big bonus coming up. I'm going to explain that in a minute. But first, let me explain the real value here. So we have the mastermind group. Now, the mastermind group that Omar and I are in love, cherish deeply, you know, it costs $6,000, okay? But it's compared to the value, nothing, okay? We love it, and we encourage anybody to join us there, okay? Then we have the value of a mastermind group alone like ours, $6,000. We have the Theater of Mind videos, 12 of them, price cheap. We'll make that over a year. The value is $6,000. Then we have the masterminds of the new economy. If we price those at just $1,000 each of the free mentoring you're going to get from them, and we're going to mastermind it so that you really can absorb it, and it becomes as clearly as clear in your mind as possible. That you love that new strategy that you learn. Do you want to employ that strategy, or do you want to, employ the coach? You can. Doesn't matter to us one way or the other. But just shows you the real resource value here is $24,000. So, and like I say to people, I don't care if you've been struggling. If you don't launch your rocket ship hard enough, you won't reach orbit. You'll simply crash back down to Earth. And yet, if you shoot for the stars, and even if you only reach the moon, you're still successful. Folks, the reason I say there's never been a better time or a better window of entrepreneurial opportunity than right now is because there's a difference between amateur level efforting and professional level efforting. And the difference is amateurs don't get paid because their efforts aren't good enough. So you need to take your game up to the level of pro. If you want to be paid like a pro, you have to think and act like a pro. So now it's time for the big bonus reveal. Ta-da! Graduation. So once you go through our year-long program, you actually are granted a lifetime membership in the New Economy Chamber of Commerce, and you are entitled to all the rights, privileges, discounts according to members. Now, this is a $300 value, and we are going to be offering discounts on an ongoing basis. So, again, here's the pricing. It's $997. One payment right now, save $200 even with the discounts. No upfront fee. You want to just try and get started, no problem. So, again, this is no excuses opportunity. And this is the end of the webinar, but the start of your mastermind. So I hope you will join us. And here's the opportunity now. Omar, do you want to explain to people how they can join us? And let's start answering any questions that folks have.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mike. That was awesome. Really, really, really value-packed and super valuable. There are a few questions. I actually asked a question. But I do want to actually just let everyone know. So the way you get this is you go to Infopreneur Agency, and I'm going to put that link in the chat box, /Mike. All right. So I'll put that link in the chat box now. Just another heads up. The page that is on there, it's going to send you to a page that I set up. Maybe I can share it. And on that page, it gives you two options of payments. But if you are one of those skeptical people that you want to just test it out, you want to just do the free option, then send an email to us at support@infopreneuragency.com. Okay? Actually, let me just unmute everyone. It sounds kind of quiet out there. Let me see. How did you guys like the presentation? Did you guys love it?
Loved it.
All right.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, that was awesome. I really enjoyed the presentation. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Omar.
Yes, you're very welcome. So again, I'm going to write also the email. If you do want to test it out, it's support@infopreneuragency.com. And you get to, what Mike, just to clarify, what that means is Mike is going to interview you, and you have the interview done. It's going to be posted on YouTube, and you can have that audiobook, ready for you to start sharing with people and getting yourself out there. And if you don't want to continue with the mastermind and continue doing more interviews, then you can, keep the gift and, enjoy it. Do with it. You will what you will. And one more thing, Mike. I also want to say the option 2. I remember on your page it says that it's a $100 activation fee. Is that right?
Yeah, that was actually when I was using PayPal, because I actually switched over. They kind of required that so the setup, but I can actually waive that. So I can make it. I just want to make it really easy for anybody.
Okay, cool. So it's just 97 down.
Just for this particular time right here.
For us.
Yeah, just because I just created this special for you. So.
Okay. All right, cool. I just want to, let you guys know again on that page. Let me just share my screen. So here, this is what it will look like. You choose one time, $9.97. This is for a full year, the whole thing. And $197, I'm going to, just disregard that. It's 97, right? And so when you click on it, you got to choose which option you want to use, you want to take advantage of. And it's going to send you to Mike's order pages. 2 of them they're 2 different ones. And you also can read more details. This is all Mike's copy here, his bullets. So you can just get a little more review of what we just covered today. And click on subscribe. Let me just check if this shows the 197 thing. I believe it did. In any case, if it's let's see, yeah. So you see, Mike, just so you know, you can look at. So it's going to charge you 197 as of right now. But if you're interested in this, like Mike said, he can waive that.
I was looking around. I was looking around for an audio cassette so I can show you guys what an audio cassette is.
Yeah, Mike, did you hear that? What I said is here's the. Okay, so Mike, you want to either edit this, or do you want to just offer them a refund or something?
Of what?
I mean, of the $100. You see this?
I don't see it. No.
Do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
I don't. So
yeah, just get back on Zoom.
I mean, we can talk about it because I don't know. I don't see it.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's on Zoom, but anyways, again, you guys, hopefully that made sense. Those of you watching the recording, by the time you're watching this, it should be fixed. So again,
yeah, I can edit it.
It's 97. And if you want to take advantage of the free offer, you can email us at support@infopreneuragency.com. So let me stop sharing that. Now let's get into some questions. So Mike, can you, let me see, can you stop sharing your screen? Get into the mastermind portion.
Oh, okay,
right.
yeah.
All right, guys. So question, Mike, what are the most crucial points to cover in our audiobook that you recommend? And I'm just going to mute everyone real quick. If you want to speak, you can speak. It's totally free dialogue here. So Mike, yeah, what are the top points that you recommend that are crucial to have in your audiobook or your table of contents?
Be fascinating, and do things differently. So, you know, if there were just standard stuff, it'd just be a waste of time. I mean, that's what it's about, is not doing the standard stuff. Stay as far away from that as you can possibly get. There's no automatic success today. You know, it's about people, and it's about telling your story and finding, if you don't know what that story is, you need a mentor. You need somebody to help you. But yeah, like I say, you know, what is the truth? What can you really help people about? And, you know, if you don't already know that, then you want to make a simple introduction so that you can get on the phone or get in a conversation with people that doesn't put you in a box, but allows you to, you know, like if I just said, I help people get clients. Well, that could mean a million things. But if I start a conversation with somebody, then I can find out who they are and what they really want. So you really want to get that focus down to the bullseye and go out, you know, to the concentric circles of the target. You don't want to try and cover everything. That's a mistake too many people try to make. But really, it's about a fascinating story that blends in your truth, your business, your offer, and you know, hopefully testimonials. Because that's the other thing. I can interview people about people that they've helped, what the stories are, or about people they've helped. So there's just a lot of ways to do it. But again, I don't do these interviews with people because I'm a workaholic or stupid. Honestly, I do them because that's what it takes. And you got to be willing to go that extra mile and not just try and sell somebody a cookie cutter, because you can buy them all day long. You're just wasting your time.
Right on. Awesome. So what if, you know, if somebody doesn't have any testimonials, for example, or let's just say they're totally starting out brand new, what would you, how would you extract the best out of them?
I won 2 Peabody Awards by interviewing individuals, okay? Every individual is different. What they have locked up in their cranium behind 7 millimeters of skull is a mystery to everybody, okay, but me, because I dig in there. I don't drill in. I just ask them questions. It's painless. And we do a pre-interview until my pulse starts going. When I feel, oh, that's exciting. I feel it. You know, I can tell. I've been in news forever, but I'm not a crusty old news guy. I'm still a person, okay? And I can laugh at myself. But anyway, so I know when I got the pulse, because that's what you're looking for. I'm always looking for the pulse. Is it there or is it dead? Is it a corpse? You know, can I find the pulse? Hey, we've got a pulse stat. They're still alive. We can bring them back to life. So when I find that pulse in their story, I know I've got something. If it excites me, then it's going to excite other people. That's the way I look at it. But I've got to take it one by one. I got to do them the service of drilling in and not jumping to any conclusions.
Right on. That's great. Okay. I'm going to check with everyone else. I'm going to unmute everyone. Hopefully you don't have a loud background noise. Anyone have any other questions you want to follow up with for Mike? You can just speak up. Or anything.
So are you going to be offering any opportunities to maybe subscribe to a newsletter that what happens if I don't particularly join right now? Is there a way to get me up on the list, some kind of way to patch me in to highlights of what you guys do? That would be awesome.
Oh, it is awesome. Totally. Thanks for asking that, Scott. And there is, and here's what it is. Get this. Okay, here's what I do, just so that you understand these interviews, okay? These interviews are part of our new money media programming. So when we interview somebody, okay, we ask them about themselves and we ask them about how they fit into the new economy. That's why I'm willing to send people my free documentary so they learn how they fit into the new economy. And when I talk to them, I want to do them the service of bringing out their best competitive advantage today, which is being current in the new economy. So then we post those on our LinkedIn groups, the new economy, and we post those on YouTube. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can subscribe to my barking dog channel. You can, no, it's not me. I'm okay. I don't know whose dog that is. But anyway, you can just subscribe to the channels so that you can stay current. I don't want people learning about the new economy just from Mike. I don't want it to be just about me in the spotlight. I want this to be a new economy reality show. I want to hear about Scott Thompson, how he fits in the new economy, what's his experiences in the new economy. So people are learning not only from Mike, but from Scott, from Karen, from Gibson, from Reggie, okay? So that I'm using your story to help us create more awareness about the new economy so we leave no entrepreneur behind and no consumer. You can reach consumers directly too, because where do consumers go? I'll teach you how to find them on LinkedIn groups that are real special, maybe archery or guns or almost anything. So there's hundreds of thousands of LinkedIn groups. So there's lots and lots of ways to do it. But yeah, we are using these. Oh, and here's the brilliant thing, guys. We are promoting our new money media programming because the new economy changed everything, including LinkedIn. LinkedIn, for the first time ever, is now a media channel because they not only they want you to promote and post your videos on your profile on LinkedIn. That's how you get higher ranking. And for the first time ever, another change they've made is now for the first time ever, you can watch videos on LinkedIn even if you don't have a LinkedIn account. So I'm telling you, whatever you thought you knew about LinkedIn, Facebook, Meetup, etc., that's all over. Start fresh. If you thought you failed there, forget it. Start over. We're going to start all over. Brand new start. Theater of the Mind, your story on LinkedIn. We're going to then promote it on our new money radio shows from our broadcasts all across the country. We're going to say, go check us out. Learn more about what Scott Thompson has to say on our new money media shows. So guys, this is really a very holistic cure for confusion about the new economy. This is mastermind networking at its best.
I agree, totally. And I'll be in it for sure. You're going to have support from us, everyone. And it's honestly, it's a total steal. I really appreciate you offering this for such a great deal, Mike. I can't thank you enough. So you guys, I think it's time to wrap it up. Yep, we're about the top of the hour, 1:15. So thank you, everyone, again. Now, remember, go to infopreneurs.com/Mike to secure your position in the mastermind. We're going to start immediately as soon as we get this webinar done. We're going to start our classes, have mastermind sessions, learn from the top marketers in the world, like Frank Kern, Evan Pagan, your favorite guys out there. And we're going to be helping each other with our own audiobooks and getting us, that like tons and tons of exposure, right?
We're going to take over the world.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, guys, really excited. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. Looking forward to working with you if you have signed up. And yeah, we'll see you on the next call. Have a great one. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for having us, Omar. It was brilliant. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.